Hi everyone, I'm back again for pages 3 and 4. I'm going to try and get both of them done in this video. So, page 3. See, I've got it all prepared, I'm being really good. Because I have nothing written down, so I hope I remember this, what I did. Okay, page 3, I'm using the pheasant design on this one. But like I said, I'm choosing these papers because it is just what I had in my stash, and I think that this is something that you could use any papers for. So I'm not using a particular line, and that's what I like to do in my crafting. I'm going to start rambling on. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is your base page. Base page. Where's my base page? There's my base page. And it's the plain one. I'm using the plain one without the tags because that's what I used for page 1. So page 3, I'm going to use it. And once again, that is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4 inches, which is UK A5. It's like my chair's getting in the way. That's better. I can stand here now. Okay, and the first thing you're going to need is, I do believe, yes, right. This one is actually 6 1/4 inches, but that's including this bit here, which is where I'm keeping my magnet. So it's 6 1/4 inches, including the decorative edge, which I have my magnet placed on ready. And on this 6 1/4 inch side, I've scored it at 1/2 inch. And it is 8 1/4 inches tall. So that's that bit. And I am going to stick this directly down onto my base page. On the, I think I'm going to have it on this side. Yeah, I'm going to have it on the left. So let's get my glue shook up ready. Oh, actually, before I forget, I didn't. It is scored at 1/2 inch. It's also scored at 3/8 of an inch. So it's scored at 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 inch. So you've got that tiny 1/8 of an inch gusset there. See, this is what happens when I prepare things. I forget what I've done. And when I've done this, I really have got to hoover up my floor. It's covered in little bits of glitter, and this is why I don't usually work with glitter and such like, because I make a mess. My pets walk around covered in glitter for 3 weeks after I've used it. Okay, so making sure that second score line is showing. I'm going to attach from that first score line onto the left hand side of the page. I really should have my glasses on at this point. I have got a chest infection and a cold, so I'm not feeling too good and my eyesight's affected. Always does when I have colds and hay fever. I'm not doing this very well. That is definitely crooked. Okay, let's try that bit again. That's better. Okay. Green folder, green folder. Okay, the next thing I am going to need is something for this to stick to. So, here's my second piece. And this piece is 2 and it's kind of in between. Okay, 2 3/4, and I've scored this at 2 1/2 and 2 3/8. My brain just went blank. So once again, I have the 1/8 of an inch gusset there. And this one I'm going to stick to the right hand side. Oh dear. Like I said, my brain, not here. Gone on vacation. So once again, this is obviously 8¼ inches high. What am I doing? Okay, let's see if I can get this down without too many problems. Okay, so 1, 2, and this is where my magnet is going. I'm going to sort that out when everything's inside, so that I know that the magnet's in the right place. Obviously, if I flatten these bits out and everything, the magnet's not going to be in the right place. Okay, the next bit I'm going to need is, and I've already decorated this because I had my edge cut in and I wanted to put the piece of paper on the back to make it smooth, to put things in and out, because obviously when I cut it, I have that patterned edge in it and I don't want things to get stuck. So that's why this has already been decorated. Okay, so this piece is 7¼ inches by 5½ inches, and on the 7¼ inch side I've scored it at 3/4 inch and 6½ inches. So you've got the gap here and you should have a 3/4 inch flat on each side, and this is going centered into here. And the reason why it's slightly less than the 5 7/8 and it's actually 5 3/4 is so that you've got room in between your score lines here. So let's get my take the backing off of here. The dog's just come in and started licking my feet. Hello, Barkley. Oh, come on then. He does like to say hello. Come on in. Oh, there. See, there. There's my doggy Barkley. Yeah. Oh, you've got wet paws. Have you been out in the garden? Yeah. Very good. Right, are you happy now? You said hello. Can you see yourself on the camera? Can you see yourself? Yes, aren't you beautiful? Yes, I love you too. Come on then. Oh, no more licking mummy's feet or hands or anything. Okay, sorry about that. He does like to have his attention, and let's face it, anyone who has a pet will know they're very, very important. So you must keep them amused at all times and do what they want. Oh. Okay, so this one is going right at the bottom, in the centre. 1, 2. Okay, and then next we're having another pocket here, and this one once again is 7¼ and it's only 2 3/4 inches high. And I've scored it once again at 3/4 inch and 6½ inches. And this one is going straight down on top, this one at the bottom. Now, although I have these pages prepared, I don't actually have any of the maps or tags prepared yet. As I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so this one goes directly on top of that one. Okay, Now then, I've got my magnet on this side, which for some reason I've just pulled that off of. Let's try that one again. Okay, put that safe. Right, on this side, where I do like to double up on these decorative edges because they're quite flimsy, especially on this top bit here, so I like to double them up, and it's nice then to put a magnet in between and it keeps the magnet hidden. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to double it up, but I'm also going to use this here, and this will become like a tuck spot at the side, and I've already doubled up on this bit. It is a bit flimsy, but it should be fine. So that's going there. I think Barclay's just found a piece of paper from the bin that he's chewing. So what I'm going to do is release my tape backing there. I think I am also going to have a little bit of glue at the bottom. Now, if you've got sensitive skin, I would advise you not to do this. It's just an easy way for me to get the glue all over this bit. Okay, I'm going to line these up. And that's got that magnet nicely in between there. Of course, what I should have done is put my decorative papers on the back first. It does make it slightly easier when you're having a tuck spot rather than a pocket. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut a bit of that off so I can get it in there. But that's okay. Okay. Right. Now then, I'm just going to stick a couple of bits in here just to bulk it out so that I can get my positioning of my magnet right, because you want those gussets nice and open when you place the magnet. So that's good. Let's get that backing off for the magnet. If it wants to come, it doesn't. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, that's done it. Okay, and there we go. That's the magnet placed. And that's it. That's page 3. And that just needs decorating then, which I will do after I have done page 4. So that's page 3. Now on to page 4. Oh, the reason why I'm keeping the other half of some of the decorative paper is just that I'm going to be using these to make the photo mats that go in between the pages in each pocket page, which is why they're being kept. Right, so that's page 3. Page 4. Okay, page 4. You will need your base page, which obviously, if the base page, if you've done it the same way I have, you have the one flat base page, the second one, the opposite, the backing base page, will have to be the one with the flaps on. So that's that. That's my base page, which once again is 8 1/4 inches. No, it's not. It's 9 1/4 inches, scored at 1/2 inch, and 8 3/4 inches, and 5 7/8 of an inch across. And that's my backing page, my base page. Right, the next thing Not when I'm using this design, which is some of the finches. Do love finches. And I'm going to have loads in my garden this winter because I have a lot of holly berries. Okay, so where's my base page? There it is. Da, 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 da. Right, now then, as you can see, this is my decorative base page, and it doesn't go right down to the bottom because I am having a small pocket here, but I will be working on using this first. So I'm not going to attach it, but I am going to be using this. Similar to the waterfall, I am going to use my patterned base pages to put in my flats and such like. So this decorative piece of paper is 5 3/4 inches by 6 inches. So, and to that I am going to need, okay, this piece is 4 3/4 inches by, it actually works out at 8 1/4 inches, and I've scored it at that is supposed to be 3/4 of an inch. Let's just say it is 5/8 of an inch. Scored at 5/8 of an inch. Oh, okay, turn it around. I scored it at 7 3/4 inches. Okay. Now these are specific sizes because once again the size has depended on the patterned paper I am using. So I'll go through this quickly. This pattern paper is going on here, but this pattern paper is also having a slit in it, and I do believe it's this one. This one is going through the slit there. Then I will have another piece of pattern paper here, which also has a slit in it at the side, and this piece of pattern paper is going in here. Okay, which is why the slits are where they are in the patterned paper. So on this first bit, after doing this, and then obviously this bottom 1.5 or 1 3/4 or so is just for just for decoration. I'm not having a magnet or anything there, it is just for decoration because I wanted it to look pretty. So you could, if you wanted to, just have this at, let's get this right, 6 3/4 inches, and then score it at 3/4 inches. And obviously it's still 4 3/4 inches across. Now my decorative page with the split in it, where you put the split also depends on how big your next layer is going to be. Obviously if your next layer is a lot smaller because you want a smaller part of the picture showing, then this bit will be further in. But for mine, I've got it 4 5/8 of an inch by 5 7/8 of an inch, and the score here is 1/4 of an inch in from the edge, and obviously it stops at 1/4 of an inch outside. And each time also I put the sellotape on the back so that it stops it splitting, especially as this one is very close to the edge. Okay, so that's that bit which has to go on there, but that can't go on there until I've done this one and this one. So we're going to start this one in reverse, and my base decorative bit here is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 of an inch. No, it's not, that's the wrong piece. Yes it is, that's the piece I'm using. Okay, that's for my decorative piece, and the piece I'm putting through this slit, which once again is 1/4 of an inch from the side, is 4 1/4 inches by 5 inches, and it's scored at 1/2 inch. So what I have to do now is pop this through here, centre it up. Once again, you make sure that the crease, your fold line here, is on the top of the paper. So it's on the top, on the decorative. You don't want it going underneath, you want it to remain on top. So I'm going to centre this up. And when it's all centred up, I've just put it through the wrong way. No, I haven't. Oh dear, it's already one of those days and I've barely begun. Okay, once again, centre it up. Make sure my crease is on the right side of the paper, which it isn't there, which is why that's gone a bit doolally. You have one of those moments where you think this was such a good idea when I thought about it. There we go. There. Okay, so that's that bit all done. Okay, now then, this bit will go on here, like so. And there will be another piece wherever it's gone. Here it is. So this will match up to the picture underneath. So you can see the picture does follow on. Okay, so this one, so you've done this one and put this bit on. I'm now going to use this one, which is the 4 3/4 by 5 1/2, scored at 1/2 inch. Is going into, right, so this is the piece that the one you've just done goes on top of, and this one is going into this decorative paper, which is 4 5/8 by 5 7/8 with the 1/2 inch slip at the side. I've got my tape on already. Pop that in there, making sure my crease remains on this side of the score line of the slit in my paper. That's good. See if I can get this tape backing off without moving it. And also where you, I have the sellotape on the back, if I do make a slight mistake and I need to adjust it, it's very easy to peel this off, peel it off and do it again until it's stuck down fully. Okay, so there's that bit and that bit. And then finally, this has to go through here. So this is the base page which I will be having a pocket on, and this is going to slip in here exactly the same way, making sure that's nice and straight. And that is, this one's much easier to work with. Take off my tape backing, make sure that's straight, and pop that down at the back. Okay, so that's that bit. Now I've got my base page, And once again, I've already pre-made this pocket because I wanted to cover up the decorative edge. But the pocket is 7 and, oh, what an odd size. Okay, yeah, 7 and 3/8 by, oh, I think that is 4 1/4. And on the 7 and 3, actually it's 4 1/8 because it's half the size. It's 4 1/8. So it's 4 1/8 of an inch by 7 and 3/8 of an inch. And on the 7 and 3/8 of an inch side, I have scored it at 3/4 of an inch and at 6 and 5/8 of an inch. So you have the 5 and 7/8 of an inch pocket. Okay, so this has to go down onto the base page, but first of all I want to put on this bit. This bit I'm going to put on, no I'm not, I'm going to put the pocket on first, so the pocket goes on first. Oh dear, 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 dear. 1, 2. Don't forget your piece of tape at the bottom because no one wants everything to fall out of their bottom. Get some glue on. And pop this at the bottom of the page, like so. When I say like so, I mean do it straight and not crooked the way I've just done it. There we go. That's good. Okay. Also pocket down, and then I'm going to put some double-sided sticky tape over here. I'm going to make it a nice thick piece. It goes over here. And I'm going to stick this down onto my page. So glue all over the back, not on the flap. And then slip this inside the pocket, and there we go. Okay, and then this one goes on top of here, so you can glue that one down. This one goes on top of there, and that glues down, and it goes on top like so. Oh darn it, yes, I was going to do something else, wasn't I? And I completely forgot. I'm not going to stick that down just yet. I'm going to peel that back quickly before it totally sticks. Okay, behind here I want some ribbon. And, oh, gold ribbon, come on, gold ribbon. I've got my gold ribbon. I'm just going to take a whole load of it at the moment so I can sort it out in a minute. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that behind there. Oh, way too much. I'm going to have ribbon behind here, like so. So that goes across the middle, and we'll tie up in a bow. So that goes behind the backing paper, and we'll keep it all closed, so you don't need a magnet here. Did I do this bit? I didn't do this bit. Right, the other thing that I'm having is this piece, which is 4 3/4 inches, so it's the same width as here. This one is actually 5.5 inches, but that's including my decorative edge, because I'm having this on here, and that will be another tuck spot underneath. I don't know, I think I'm going to cut this down quite a bit, so it just needs to be the width and line up with your decorative edge if you want it to. So that's going to be there, so I'll have an extra little bit underneath, but I am going to cut that down, I think. So I will get this decorated fully. I will get page 3 decorated, and then I'll come back to show you how it is without the mats, because I'm not doing the mats yet. This will only have one mat anyway, because it's only got the one pocket. So I'll put these together and then I'll be back. I've finished decorating, and here they are. This is page 3. So it just opens up each side. I've put my embellishments here, just one of the larger poinsettias and some holly leaves, and I've got the tuck spot here, pocket here, pocket here. Obviously this has just been stuck down to the bottom pocket, nothing stuck to the top pocket. The glue is still drying, so that's that one. And page 4, I might take this poinsettia off, I'm not too sure, and I've got to cut down my ribbons, so the ribbons open up, and as you can see the pictures are nicely staggered, so it opens up side, side, and then up with the tuck spot up here, and a nice pocket here, and I've decorated it once again with holly leaves and some fir cones. Still drying. Oh yeah, this is definitely not dry yet. So yeah, I think I might take that one off. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to take that one off, which means I'll have to replace this picture bit here. But there you go, pages 3 and 4 complete, except for the mats, which I will be doing before I start on page 5 and 6, or maybe just 5. But yeah, the only other thing before I forget is obviously where these papers are red and pink based rather than the blue based. With this one I used the blue and Victorian velvet for the red on the edge of the snowflake, just to sort of like help it transition from the previous page, and all the papers have been edged in the Victorian velvet, and I used obviously the red poinsettia rather than the blue ones that I'd used previously. This has just been edged in red. Now I used the raspberry sort of red, cherry red, I think my mum would call it cherries in the snow colour, flat back pearl for embellishing the snowflake border here. So yeah, that's it. That's the ink, and that's all done. So until next time, bye for now.